BLASTMUSIC247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Okay, we're checking with the tech team. Let's see if it's working now. Hey, I got a thumbs up. Okay, so as I understand it, StreamYard was doing some updates. So maybe their updates was a little bit more updatey than my tech was ready for. I don't know, but I'm glad you can hear me. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do a scratch start and let's start again just so that we have clean copy. How about that? Hi, humans. Be back.
BLASTMUSIC247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Okay. Round two. And perfectly, all it takes is 2 rounds to get it right. Hey, y'all. I am Melikia K. Courtney. You are joining me for SXP MetaMorphosis 365 Growth Podcast. Out the gate, we start with gratitude. Why? Because that's just how I start with gratitude. Thank you so much to Veep, who is amazing. Thank you so much to Blast for making this a wonderful place to podcast. I'm very grateful. And then also to Sunshine of Shine Vibrations, who has her show on Thursday nights at 7. I let Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely, if you haven't checked out Shine Vibrations, you definitely want to pop over there and check out that podcast. And then on Thursday, that's why it's on mine, is Crazy Carla's Concoctions. So you definitely want to check out that one as well. Some fun. We got some really great podcasts running around here. How about just stalk the channel? How about that? Blast Music 247 on YouTube. Follow it. And also, please do go hop over to my page, Melikia K. Courtney. It's a new and budding page. Please do follow there. And also, you can ingest all them young replays over there. Okay, get in the replay bag. I have a lot of amazing content so far. And not just because I say it's amazing, because people say, hey, this is amazing. This is very helpful. All right. So, since we are already 5 into the gate, I think what I'd like to do is touch topic for a second. It's another Tuesday for women to remember. That is our title for this episode. I believe we're at episode 25. That's what we're going to call it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And today we're going to have a conversation with a twist. And let's lay some rails for it. Okay, here's the rails. We experienced our nation's election cycle on the 5th. Okay. There were folks who walked away from that in full on joy and elation, and some of them in full on arrogance. And there's another word I want to use, but I'm going to refrain from using that word till after 9 o'clock. And straight foolishness. Okay. With ill intention. That's a clear way to say exactly what it was, right? And then there were some folks who walked away from that election in disbelief that the country would choose to elect a 34-time felon who also has a questionable sexual history, prostitutes, the whole nine of that, and a few other things to boot, and who definitely is a misogynist, who doesn't care for women. So I decided that this Tuesday, after a quick change too, because there was someone who was supposed to join me tonight. We're going to have her another time. She had a conflict in her schedule. But to really address the heart of the women. Now, mind you, I understand it's not all women. Some women were absolutely on board and voted that human into another cycle of office. Okay, great. But for those who did not, who are left feeling some kind of way, especially those in this beautiful brown chocolate to dark chocolate to melanated skin, who are feeling some kind of way. This conversation is a conversation just for us. So we're taking it, like I said, with a twist. I've decided to be brave. And it's a cheat code, brave. Gotta say that because I am overly familiar with our guest. And what I can say is that this man must have like question Jesus on tap. Like, dear question Jesus, give me the most mind and heart cutting questions to ask the people. Okay. And that's we're gonna experience some of that tonight. So with somewhat of the framework in mind, somewhat of just the heart of the women, the life of the women, the strength of the women is kind of what I'll be sharing here and there in between getting this here young questions, y'all. I'm fit to catch it. So walk with me, and if I pause for a minute to think, just go ahead and think with me. Please do like, share, comment, and go back and watch this again and again. You find value, share it with 10 friends. I'd like to grow this podcast. Also, if you'd like to be a sponsor, that means that you rock with what I'm sharing, that you support it. You want to help get this message of growth out to the women, out to the men, out to the young adults. Please do contact me. Text sponsor to 321 443 2495. I like to be some of your hands, legs, and feet, Melikia. I'd like to support what you're doing. And maybe I'm too busy and I don't have the time, but I can send $50. I can send $100 and help support the work. Not to mention, y'all, a day of healing. And yes, we are adjusting the title. I'm so used to saying ad host, y'all. I'm used to saying it, but a day of healing. Love Fest 2025. That means our third annual 24 hours is coming back on February 8th. Had to go back in the mind and look at it. 2025, February 8th. So please do save the date. Plan to rock with us as many hours as you can. We're going to be virtual for 24 hours on Clubhouse app. If you don't have it, go ahead and download it. You're going to find us in the Sanctuary Experience. And because I got jokes, the room is titled Sanctuary XP. And then you'll see parentheses, and written backwards in parentheses is Master Key Mindset, because I am all about helping folks to master their mindset. If you can get the mind game on point, you have won. You have won. Everything else has to align to mind. And you can quote me on that. Everything else has to align to mind. Somebody takes me there, so I'll go ahead and write a book about it. So that's just the truth. All right, y'all. It's time to be brave. I'm about to introduce our guest. We're going to welcome him with an at-home applause. Get your clap on. Get your clap on. Ooh. Hi, human.
Thank you so much, Melikia.
You are beyond welcome. Please do introduce yourself and tell the folks where to find you once this podcast is over.
All right. My name is Scott Harrell. I am the co-host and co-founder of Partners in Rhyme, where you can find us in Lyrical Vibes every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Clubhouse. And I am the founder and owner of Harrell Consulting Group, a business consulting firm specializing in business funding and being the bridge to your business tomorrow.
I appreciate the introduction, and I'm going to give you a moment to breathe, wet your whistle if you need to. I'm going to play this little quick clip so the folks can get a peek at what's coming. Oh, I'm giggling. There we go. Love fest, love fest. Get your screenshots. I'll play it later in the group too. Yoop. Oh, you took longer than 7 seconds. We caught you. Water? Is that water?
Yeah, that's
oh my God.
I know.
Oh, that's
Look
amazing.
Outside. Jesus may be back now.
Whoa. Let me listen for some sound. Any trumpets, anybody? All right. So I yield this sacred microphone.
Well, first and foremost, just as you start out with gratitude, allow me, please. I thank you for humbly trusting me on your platform to interview you. It is a privilege and an honor to come here and do that. And I always love having the opportunity to not only pick your brain, but introduce people to the depth and breadth of all that goes on in there, or at least enough that they can handle.
I'll say, ooh, what kind of questions you got? Go ahead.
And that said, also congratulations for episode number 25. So,
why, thank you. Which is, I ain't gonna even tell nobody. It's probably about 32, but don't tell nobody because we just did a couple of series in there and we just kept it like that.
Remind me when we're done. I have something. I have a thought to share with you about a day of healing.
Oh, you might as well do that now because I ain't gonna remember. We're about to get down the road and I'm about to get hit with questions. Yeah, about that.
Well, then I'll do my best to remember because I want to get into this. So
okay.
you have tasked me with this, and realizing that I'm speaking to a woman as a man in the topic matter, the subject matter that I'm coming with.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do this from a perspective, an eye-opening perspective, as a man being illuminated, if you would, to some of these things that we may not have heard or understood from a woman. Okay? It may have been given lip service. There may have been some conversation that was glossed over, but I really want to dive in.
Ooh, let's see how much time we got and what these questions look like. let's go.
Let's start with something that may seem the most basic, but still probably one of the deepest questions that we need to start with.
Okay.
Please tell me, what does it mean to be a woman?
What does it mean to be a woman? Out the gate, what I would say initially is it's assignment. Like it is an assignment. Like everything that we have here is labeled, right? Oh my God. That question is so big. And it's like, okay, let me break it down. I'm trying to think how to break it down quickly because the pictures are flooding. What it means to be a woman is to be powerful. It means that you have power stuffed, packed, crammed into a vessel. You know what I mean? Like there's contents under pressure. That's what it means to be a woman. Contents under pressure. It is that when we're born, we have our guides and there are roles. There are roles and assigned behaviors that come with being a woman. But I'm going to keep the answers simple. Oh my God, I'm going to have to do a talk on this. I love that question. Rude. Okay, great. But I would say that to be a woman is to recognize that you are contents under pressure, that you are magnificent and powerful, that as a woman you have the ability to create. You know what I mean? Like to create and to birth a whole human, not a half of one, right? You know what I mean? To literally hold and carry. And if you take it out of the physical birthing and restricted to spiritual only, there is still birthing. There is still birthing. There is still carrying. There is still nurturing. There is still loving. There is still force. There is still the water. Like to be a woman is to be water. Unyielding. You know what I mean? All encompassing. Providing. To be a woman is to be life. Even for the women who are not reproducing, who choose that they don't want to have babies, that doesn't magically make you not a woman or remove your value. That ain't it. So I would say to be a woman, and then of course you have to offer that division line of being born female, growing as a girl child, and then moving on to young adulthood, and then moving on into womanhood. And that is a place all its own. Like to be a woman, there's much required. There's much required. And it's bee's knees and best thing on the planet is a woman. My humble and not so humble opinion. Hopefully that answers your questions in a little bit, because there's so much more. There's so much more. But I will pause. Oh my gosh, what a great question.
I appreciate you answering it, stabbing at it, and throwing yourself into it. I'm going to do my best to not have as many follow-up questions, so we can get to all the questions as possible.
Go ahead, though.
I have this follow-up question for you.
Sure.
How hard was it to answer that question from what it means to you to be a woman, as opposed to thinking about what it means to be a woman from what the world expects?
So here's the thought. In order to answer the question, I don't know that there's a separation. You know what I mean? Because my original information was lent to me. And I say lent because some of that mess I gave back. Okay, it was on loan. I grew, I learned, matured, and realized that some of those parameters and instructions don't belong to me. They don't apply. Okay. Everyone, if you're breathing, you are influenced. That's a non-starter. Someone can sit there and offer themselves a delusion to believe that they have not been influenced, they're self-made, or and all these other things that come out of people's mouth are bullshit. I'm gonna call it like it is. Yeah. If you're breathing, you are influenced. So I don't know that there is a place of separation. I believe that it is a growth point. Birth to this point in life, I am still growing and learning and deciding. Okay, and then I choose. So if that answers your question a little bit, I feel like we need to rock a whole couple of hours on this because we only have an hour today, but this is good. Let's see where we go next. Oh my God, what a question.
we may get
You know what I am going to do? I'm going to write, and I'll make sure when I write it, I share it with you because that's a powerful question.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm.
Question 2. And you got your seatbelt on, right? Okay. For you, where do women fit in God's spiritual framework?
Where do women fit in God's spiritual framework? Where do women fit in God's spiritual framework?
And if you
So,
want me to elaborate on my question, I can.
no,
But like
it's
asking,
well, I guess you could, but no, I was okay. So y'all know I think in pictures, right? Like so when I get the question, what I do is kind of just let it out to the universe, right? My sphere, and then I'm looking at the pictures that respond back to me. So I see images that come, and this was a vibrating circle. And as you said it again, and as I repeated it, what I could see was it widening and widening and widening. So I would say that women fit as God's framework. I don't believe that women fit into. See what I mean? Understand that?
elaborate some more.
Okay.
I understand you because I know you, but I want you to make that more
Okay.
clear, please.
So this is what I see. This is the response that I would offer. The mind of many would like to cause women to fit into God's framework. Let's go story time. I grew up in various denominations of church, religion, belief, and without a hesitation or a question mark, all of the above wanted women to fit into a role or into their place. You are to be submissive. You are to follow as you are led. You are to hush and keep your opinions. You are to be paid less and deal with it. You are to meet all the expectations and demands of a full-time working human, and then add on top of that being the majority caregiver. Okay, and then on top of that, you need to be the housekeeper. On top of that, you need to be a sexy slaver in bed. And you are to be a Proverbs 31 woman. Get up early, go to bed late, provide for yourself, family, servants, your man. You know, there's a lot of places that women are quote unquote required to fit into, which I find to be the error. I find that to be the full-on error. When folks begin to embrace the truth that women are the framework, then it is possible that we could have a new conversation. Okay, so let's take it back down to this thought. When God made man, let's make man in our image. What was created in that moment? Most people want to say that it was Adam, that Adam was created only, and that the woman was solely formed from the rib and pulled, and then, you know, boom, 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 here you go, this is yours, this your toy, this your bone, basically. That's how that's offered. Women are the bone. Like he a dog and she daddy chew on, basically. Okay. And that may sound disrespectful to folks, but that's too bad for now. Because this is the truth of the matter. Only when the creation was created as male and female. What does that tell you? Genius. That whoever you called Adam and whoever you called Eve, which is really Atum, get me started, both were present. Both were present. And then if you want to take it out of religion, look at nature. If you want to take it out of nature, look at the stars. If you want to take it out of the stars, look at the water. Okay. and then compare it to your women. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, great.
So to make sure that it's clear,
That's why we have follow-up questions.
and I want to be very clear. I'm not going to mansplain anything here tonight.
I suggest you don't. It's not safe.
I'm letting your words do what you do, and I'm not even going to say
starting this with these questions. You're starting this, but that's okay. Go ahead, starting this. Let's go.
So, are you suggesting the women are the framework? Women are the framework that creation is written upon and everything fits in? Is that how this is that how your explanation should be framed, or is there more nuance there?
Mind your wording, sir, how my explanation should be framed. Oh, yeah. So I would say it this way. The woman's position and framework does not negate the man's. But some might want to take my words and make it mean that.
Okay.
No, that's not what I said. So I would encourage a re-listening to the answer that I offered. And then I would also offer this. Because a lot of the humans are settled into a patriarchal view. There is an immediate feeling of challenge when a woman speaks the truth, not even just her truth, but the truth, right? So there's a possibility for a shutting down of the mind, a deflection, a refusal. That's unfortunate, but it doesn't change the truth. So I'll leave that alone.
Well, I caught everything of what you were saying there, but I want to make sure to give full opportunity for your words to reach everyone, especially those who may not be as clear,
okay,
or want to think, this, that, or the other. And I'm not going to do any mansplaining. I'm just letting your words.
It ain't safe.
So, question number 3.
Number 3. And I hear such an echoey almost, but go ahead.
If you need me to adjust any of my sound.
I'll look at you. I think it might be mine.
Okay. How do you as a woman keep your joy in a terrifying world? I asked that question from a perspective, and this is a man looking in, looking into what he perceives as a woman's life. And for me, it's as if from the time you're able to hear and understand, even before that, a woman's life seems to be being protected from all manner of harm and danger that could befall you just because you're a woman, if it doesn't happen to you, okay? Let alone being able to exist, going to and from where you are without hopefully getting accosted in some way. Being able to work without having just the fact that you're a woman be a slight against you in your work. Just the fact that you're a woman going to and from shouldn't be a reason that you have to feel the need to carry your car keys this way, or how you're going to go out, or where you're going to go out, or what you're going to wear, or this, that, or the other, blah, blah, blah. To me, a man looking in.
You don't explain the answer, so go back and share the question with me real quick.
How does a woman keep her joy in a terrifying world?
Okay, let's pause there and work on the answer. Initially, what I would say is I don't find the world terrifying. I don't find the world terrifying, and it's possibly because I made a decision. Okay, I remember having the conversation with the universe. Am I safe? I've had to ask that question twice in life. Once when I was a child. And once, not too long ago, I have to think about what happened, but there was something that occurred, and I was like, is this universe safe? You know what I mean? And that was a question that only I can answer for me. That sounds really out loud, and there's a whole lot of information that's flooding. So let me work through it. Yes, there are horrific things that happen to women. And actually, I think the stats are like literally at this point, 1 in 2 women experience some form of sexual assault, which is absolutely insane. Okay. And I believe that that is the statistics. And I can say that I am among the numbers. I know what it is to have experienced molestation, rape, fondling, right? So those are the big, scary, hairy monsters, right? I know what it is to have experienced domestic partner violence and domestic abuse. So that's 2 separate things. Let's put that distinction in place. I know what it is to have a former inmate, male, a good near 300 pounds, a good 6'5"-ish, 6'4"-ish, pull up and want smoke after having been released. I know what it is to have my tires, the nuts on my tires, undone so that when I drive, the expectation is that I die in the car. So like I have seen some stuff that could easily make it a terrifying place to exist if I had not made my mind up. So for those women who exist in terror, my heart goes out to you. And I have met, along my work, I have met many women. And actually, when I was going through the domestic violence part of things, my ex did try to kill me. And there was also stalking afterwards. So there was a lot of fear that was there. And I chose to do the things, God bless you, to do the things to empower myself as a woman. I did grow up on the south side of Chicago. I knew how to handle certain things. Okay. I had brothers, bless God. So I was taught how to respond in certain things. And then eventually I went on to be professionally trained how to let the air out of a human. So those things kind of counter the balance of safety, not to mention just the wisdom. Like, I'm a Midwest girl. I know to pay attention to my surroundings. I know that ninjas lurk and look for opportunity. So of course I do what I need to do to make sure that I do not look like the opportunity. Right. So, and short version kind of goes like this, like to answer the all, because I think it's important to tool people up, because this is a growth podcast. It is important that if you are feeling like the world is a terrifying place, then you really need to identify why. I love what you shared at the beginning about the protection of women being in place. Again, we talked about the patriarchal society. We must convince the women that they are weak. We must convince the women that they must be protected. Okay, because that is a man's job. We must convince the men that it is their job to protect, to do all these man role things. We talked about roles earlier. Why? Okay, why are we not rearing our girls in the same manner that we rear our boys? Why are we not teaching our daughters takedown techniques, pressure points, eye gouges, growing aggression? Why are we not preparing our daughters? And I don't, not to say make them violent, I don't believe in that, but to be able to defend oneself, to be able to react. Okay, so there's many methods of reaction. Simple 911 dialing, that's a method of reaction, right? But then there's also the mental conditioning that can come with growth. So as a parent, the parents get to decide the level in which they engage that training. I had sons and I had daughters. Do you think I honestly taught my sons all those techniques and didn't tell my daughters? Come on now. Absolutely not the case. So I find that in the same time, we have differences, males and females. We absolutely do. The men carry the strength in the body, the muscles. Hey, mister, come open this jar for me. I love a man to do his thing. Hey, come fix this. You know what I mean? So it's wonderful having the roles, not poo-pooing on all of that, not all of it, some of it. So there's nothing wrong. I don't think it's a right or wrong thing if you're training your daughter to be a girly girl and you want her soft and you want her pliable. Basically, that's what we're doing, right? We're keeping our women pliable so that they can be influenced and instructed and guided in this behavior. Keep them pliable, okay? Where we teach our boys to be rigid and stern and decided, to lean into logic, to lean into action, right? And we teach our women to lean into them. Why? Okay. So we have to look at what systems were created, what roles were created through the systems, and then please get a paintbrush with some big red paint and slather it on with a big fat why. Why? Answer it. Then ask her again. Why? And for those who reduce that question down to because God said so, dare me sounding like Lucifer himself when I say, did he really? And I know that's some colorful language and colorful response, but not even from that side. How about from the light and the truth side of things? Is that what was said? Did you believe it or do you know it? Did you take your tail and go back to the beginning of a thing? Did you go consider the etymology? Did you go consider the languaging? Did you go figure it out? Or you just taking what you thought was true because they thought it was true and gave it to you, and the person who gave it to them thought it was true and gave it to them, and you playing telephone, basically. You're playing telephone. So some people are content to play telephone. Some people are content to live in a terrifying world and be afraid and move that way and choose violence all the times or choose fear all the time. I'm not one of those humans. I'm not one of those humans because I had the fortune. I was fortunate enough to be presented with these questions that I had to answer. And I chose to live and to engage and to wander the world and to travel and to meet people. Some folks are afraid to say hello and make a friend. I was in a group. I'm a part of a group. Let me rewind that. I'm a part of a group that it's like Black women who are looking to make friends, which is wonderful. I think that's great, right? Women and melanated can make some friends. There was a post that was posted about the holidays. When I tell you 98% of the answers that came through, and it's not a few, I'm talking a lot of women, were bemoaning being alone for the holidays. That is super sad. That is super sad. And it tells me that they've set life up in a way to be alone. You can't get along with nobody. You ain't got no friends. Ain't nobody that you could call and say, hey, listen, I'm going to pull up for a plate. What you want me to bring? Or, hey, come over here. Bring your dog, bring your cat, and let's have something together. Let's play a game. Let's turn on the TV, watch a movie. Let's cook some food and eat together. Nobody. And some folks have set their life up like that. And I am not condemning those people. I am not. I understand what it is to have a path sometimes where you have to walk that part alone. Cool beans. But do you honestly believe that you were supposed to be terrified out of your skin and not connect and firm up a relationship with nobody for your, what's life expectancy now? 62 to 72 years? You're supposed to live. Okay. If you like it, I love it. That's it.
So a brief, first of all, thank you for the in-depth response that you gave.
Sure.
The one thing that I will tell you that I've noticed as a man who pays attention and pays attention to how women move, little sister on, especially post-military, during and post-military, because of learning more about strategy. To me, women live in a state where when they move more strategically more often than men.
Absolutely.
They have to give more thought to where they're going, how they're going, what's going to, and all of that stuff than men. And the thought of that spurned that question. And for me, when I think of the word human being, I think of it in its two-part components.
Human
And
and being. Okay.
when do women get to the point of not just human, but being able to be, when, because men will tell you, yeah, we can drop our guard at times and just be, and it's that thought of when women go out in a group, there is a purpose, and when they go off, men talk about it like it's funny and some don't even pay attention, but it's like, no, it's not just the fact you're going out in a pack. Everybody's minding each other. They're going to the bathroom together because everybody's minding each other. Everybody's making sure the drinks are all good. And, at what point can you just sit still and be, and that's just one small vignette of life, at least from what I see from the outside looking in.
So here's two thoughts that came to mind. When a man relaxes and lets his guard down, where is he usually?
Is this rhetorical or honest?
Oh, no, I'm asking.
Either at home or out with his friends somewhere.
Okay, so I have plenty of male clients, right? Coaching clients, let's be clear, for smartasses, but plenty of male clients. And I also have brothers and I have cousins and I have da-da-da-da. And I've been fortunate enough to be among many communities. I agree. Men relax and let their guard down when they are home. I know that many do that when they're with their women or their mate, okay, partner. And then when they're out with their dudes, I believe that they are able to have a good time and play, but I don't think that there's very much difference when they're out with a group as far when it comes to security, because all of them are tending to one another too. They're like the eye is out. If something pop off, it's about to be a something. It's about to be a something. If it's when they are men of substance, because I do understand that there's some men who are just not willing to man, and that's fine. But as far as the women are concerned, you said it exactly. Women go to the bathroom in groups. Someone is watching those glasses because there's some dastardly humans dropping stuff in people's drink and passing them things that has contact drugs to cause them to pass out so they can collect these women and do horrible things. We do understand that the numbers of sex trafficking, the numbers are higher with females, but did you know how high that number is with the men, with the males? Did you know that men are experiencing rape, molestation, abuse in great numbers? In great numbers. So I feel like the film industry benefited from selling a narrative. For years, they benefited from making rape films. They called it crime films or action or such like this, but they glorified these serial rapists. And what did it produce? Some more nuts out there doing horrible things. Right? Okay. So, and I'm answering it kind of, but this is like none of these questions, your questions are really awesome and they have so many layers to them. This question in particular, I have to say, is a gift from society. It's a gift from society because collectively we have agreed to move this way. The moment we collectively agree to move in a different way, then we're going to have some different outcomes. The moment that we, back to your first or second question, when we see the woman in the original frame as opposed to an extra in the damn movie and handle her that way as someone who has a voice, as someone who has exactly the same amount of power and right. I doubt that if a man were in position to give birth after holding on to a watermelon for about 19 months, I doubt it. Okay, don't tell me a woman ain't strong. You can't convince me of that. Don't tell me a woman who sits there and watches her son break his neck and has to be sound and solid and tend to him and nurse him back to whatever health he was going to achieve. Don't tell me a woman ain't strong. Don't tell me a man is stronger than a woman. Don't do it. If you want to speak to me about physical strength, body makeup, okay, we could talk. And I can dang sure tell you that there's some freaking strong women out there with super muscles and they work out for it and they bench 400 and all the rest of this too. Like, so there are exceptions, like to anything, there are exceptions. We have collectively bought into religion, which painted us a picture of how to behave and what to expect, even to the point of denying that it was tampered with, saying that it's a sovereign word of the Lord and all of it applies, without acknowledging that man was involved. Please tell me one thing that man, and I'm talking humanity, I'm not talking about a man or a woman, even though the majority of the folks who were translating were men, sure, damn sure, right? We know that from the stuff that was put in there. Stop playing. The systems were fixed before either of us were born into them. And they work because we're inundated and we're pressed and we're pliable and we conform and we follow the instructions. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And this is the perfect lead up to question 4.
Oh no. Oh no, question 4.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I need a water. I need what? Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna duck after I ask you.
You're gonna duck? Oh God, where you go?
Duck. Yeah, I'm gonna buy when you're
Trying to
done.
give me in trouble. Why you want these people to know so much in my head? These people in my head be talking, but go ahead.
Question number 4, Melikia.
Yes.
Does a woman have a place?
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Does a woman have a place?
What do you mean, a place?
So, religion, society, family, for generations, if not longer, there are many who will want to describe the place that women belong in, whether or not it's, as you've described, silent and subject in faith,
Implacable,
or motherly and nurturing in the household, or working hard and yet earning half as much in the workplace. There are clear physiological differences. There are things that it can clearly be pointed to, that it can be said scientifically, medically, this, that, and the other. Men can do that women can't do, and women can do that men can't do. Does any of this at all mean, and we're talking about women here, so I'm not just trying to, but do women have a place, a certain place that they belong?
So the very first clear answer that came to my mind was absolutely horribly funny. It was very mischievous. So this is a warning to all of my listeners. I am mischievous. And this is literally what came to my mind. There was a few things that, you real brave. You brave as I don't know what. Okay. I'm going to give y'all that answer. I'm just deciding if I want to give it to you first because you might be distracted from the other answers that I offer. I will say first that a woman's place is wherever she decides. That's my answer. A woman's place is wherever she decides. Not that's decided for her. Wherever she decides. And sadly, what I find is that women don't start to really make decisions for themselves until later in life. Like you've already passed your formative ages. You know what I mean? Thankfully for the parents who offer some form of autonomy. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful, but a lot of the parents are given and driven to the system. I birth you, here's the system, work the system, i.e. our age group was told, if you go to school, work hard, get a good job, go to school, work hard, graduate, go to college, get your career in place, then go work for them nice people. And go ahead and get them about 60, 40, 30 years of your life. You're going to be all right. In our lifetime, we've seen that to be a flat out freaking lie. A flat out freaking lie. It don't apply. And again, propaganda and anything to distract from the truth. We need to be making businesses happen. We need to be opening our own business and being creative, right? Quote creativity. So a woman's place is wherever she decides. I'd love to see women put in position to decide earlier on. I'd love to see women take back their power from these suffocating humans. And I'd love to see them wake up and stand up, because what woman would honestly vote for Mouth Melikia? For someone of such questionable character.
That was so good.
Oh God, I almost said something real foul. Who devalues women, who made that type of disgusting gesture regarding the vice president of the United States, his disrespectful, raggedy orange ass. Okay. We're being kind. Ugh. Okay, great. Back to where we were. Where were we? So yeah, a woman's place is wherever she decides. And my prayer is that when women take those places, they honor themselves in it, that they find themselves in it first, because you can't honor it if you can't even find yourself in it. I think that's a lot of the issues that we have today. Women are not able to find themselves in these things. Hey, come do this. Hey, come do this. Hey, come, and we'll go do it. But it's like, wait, I can't find me in it. And what I mean by that is, we're expected, especially folks in this skin colors, women in this skin color, we're expected to be selfless. We're expected to give and shovel love and healing and help and all these things. Shovel it out, but don't expect a damn thing back, because that's not due. Bullshit. Number 2. Okay. So a woman's place is wherever she decides. So women, please get to evaluating your positions and decide where you want to be and go after that fearlessly, recklessly, wholeheartedly. And actually, I have a masterclass recording that I'm offering. I didn't even load that up today, but it's $40, and it literally is, how are you enjoying womanhood? You know, and it's a whole conversation just for the women, because we need us to love us. That's why I have Sanctuary Experience. Like that, the SXP started as a sisterhood. It started out as a sisterhood for melanated women, so that we had a place to go to love on us, and to see one another, to find ourselves in that and heal. All right. Now, of course, everybody showed up, got Spanish, white, everybody comes, because everybody understands and recognizes love. And I'm not going to push anybody away. Love is love. I love. And I can't even help that. I love. And yeah, same time, I'm going to tell you guys that naughty answer. So the naughty answer was, a woman's place is on her man's shoulders, facing forward. Okay, great. Next question.
Okay. I'm glad that you didn't need that one, because we would have been distracted.
I was like, whoa. Like all the things are crashing, and that was the first formed clarity. I'm like, that's exactly where she belongs.
How your mind works.
Wonderful place. You guys would have a ball in my mind, for those who could stand it.
You need to charge admission.
Oh my God.
The 2 thoughts that come to my mind when I think about where that question comes from, because I've always been one of those people, even when I was young, who I never could understand the thought process behind how someone could birth an astronaut yet not be considered that they could be, how someone could birth a president but not be considered, how someone could birth. But when I went through boot camp and I went through the military, and that was, if there was ever anything left in me that removed it all, because at the end of the day, I don't care if the person next to me pees standing up or sitting down. I just need to know your name straight.
That's it. You got my 6. That's it.
And I don't know if it's still true to this day, but while I was in the Marine Corps active duty, once Marine, always Marine.
Thank you for your service. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. The record for marksmanship was held by a woman, a female Marine.
So, I told you, pressure. Content's under pressure. Don't start now, won't be done.
So, you know, to me, it was like, it's a no-brainer to me that you all can do anything, you know.
Lethal qualified with my left, and I'm dominant right.
Well, I'm quite sure if given enough time and opportunity, y'all would figure out how to write your names in the snow. So that's it.
As if we hadn't. That's so basic, but that's gross too. So basic. Believe and trust me. I already conquered. Kick her head.
I don't want to know.
I know you don't. You know what? Actually. So wait. What? How many questions you have?
I have a total of 10. We'll get through.
Where are we at?
I was getting ready to do number 5.
Okay, tricked you, because it's 56 after, and I have to run this deal and pay the bills. So I will bring you back up in a minute. Let me go ahead and handle this this lovely moment. Okay, y'all. So real quick, we're going to share I've been in with OG Jimmy. We're going to share that wonderful moment in music. If you have not gone to BLASTMUSIC247.com and signed up as a member so that you can enjoy all that's offered there, please go do that now. Also, if you're an artist and you'd like to have your music or poetry, spoken word, however it pulls, shared via the podcast, like in between, like I'm about to do right now for OG Jimmy, you know, for them, go ahead again and sign up right over there at BLASTMUSIC247.com. So run over there, but listen while you're doing it. Okay, great. Be back in a few minutes.
Hearing voices in my mind, they tell me shoot before you fire. Say I'm ruthless, but I stupid, since too much truth up in my my rhymes. Remember fighting with my moms, but she made sure I ain't end up fighting for no time. Bring my life, they say it's fire, you won't be free until you die. Gotta read between their lies, can't be woke and stay quiet. Can't hope and not try. I was blinded by their fears till I opened my eyes. Don't be feeling like you Jesus, cause you died for these guys. I was focused on the money, now I'm trying to stay alive. Only give you bro roses when you see your homie die. Spread love and say they hate you, feel the pain in every line. Better watch how you live, cause how you live is how you die.
Save us, cause you know, yeah, you know, oh, that this world holds something for you. So save us, cause you know, I need you. Save us, cause you know, yeah, you know, oh, that this world holds something for you. So save us, cause you know, I need you. Don't think you're lost, you're where you need to be. Keep your head held high, be all that you can see. When you look around, you'll question what you see. You'll question what you believe. Tell yourself, I am me. Behold who you are, who you really are. Behold what you can be, who you are to me. They'll tell you who you are, then they'll tell you how far you can go, but you can go, but
Oh, I love that. I literally just, as a butterfly flew up, that one scripture, lift up your head so your gates and be lifted up your everlasting doors and the kingdom of glory shall come in. Like, I think that I might be butchering it, but that's literally what popped to mind. That is a beautiful, beautiful song and a beautiful, beautiful video. Do connect with Abeni. It's spelled Abeni with OG Jimmy. And Save Us is the song. Go ahead and find it. Get that download support. And again, last time for today, go to BLASTMUSIC247.com and get registered as a member who's kibitzing and watching and supporting and enjoying, and then also as an artist, share your greatness. Okay, so we're jumping back into this question. I have been getting pummeled, beat up, and we have time for one more question, I believe, because we're pretty much at our point. So I'll take one more question, and then when I get up out of here, do make sure, I'm going to share this with you one more time as I speak. Save the date, February 8th, 2025. It's Love Fest 2025. We're doing a day of healing. It's a 24-hour virtual event. You want to plug in and be a part of that. We have moderators changing every 2 hours, 2 of them. And we are carrying a full-on conversation of gratitude and love. We're going to be making conscious effort to choose and to speak joy, love, and happiness, as opposed to BMW, all that knock it off. So that day is designated to just put a halt to all of the rigmarole of life and fall into love. Just fall into the arms of love, into the conversation of love, into the information of love. We got some great speakers that are going to be joining us, y'all. I'm kicking off that first session from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. and then I'll be closing from 10 to 12. I will also be a part of the 6 p.m. to 10, because that's going to be our poetry and performing and just a straight up acting out time, good time, cutting up. I'm looking to pull in 2 DJs. We're going to have some fun that day. So save the date and be prepared to come have fun with us. You can go to melikia.com, Melikia.com, and get a little bit more information and go ahead and fill out the little question and send me your email. I'll give you more details. If you'd like to participate, if you'd like to donate, okay, I'm excited to have you do that. Woo, be a part of what's amazing. Okay, So let's get our question answers back up here. Okay, villain.
I think
Question
I'm gonna need
villain.
I think we're gonna need to come up with a title. Question asker.
That's what the question asker. The best question asker on the planet. Like their questions hit harder than Oprah. I don't know what God came and just was passing out, dripping the question asking blessing on you. But clearly you got that. You got the magic, sir. I'm grateful for your time and thank you for thank you for I don't know, pulling out those questions, because those are some great questions, and those are they're necessary questions, and they definitely pull out some truths that can help people grow. For those who were listening, go on ahead and grow up. Go on ahead and grow up. Get some growth on you. And I will take time and give these questions true attention and answer them. And I'm always writing. Like I will write a book in a heartbeat. I really will, especially with something. So yeah, well, anybody playing about this? Like this information has to get out. I was sitting down having a conversation about titles, because this is the week. It's a push week for books. I'm working to sell the ebooks and get those numbers up, and then I'm also going to be sharing my babies with the Amazon world. I feel some kind of way about that, but I feel like it's time. I think, okay, it's like, yeah, now I can share it. So I'm going to be doing that as well. And I was thinking of all the titles that I've written, and I'm like, Jesus, Pete's like, I write. I've written so many minis. I've written so many growth aspects and just keys and tools. So for the reader, and then the fun one, I'm telling, that was fun. People are going to grow from that too, but that literally was that was a fun write, just poems and stories to help ease the lonely mind. So even in that, yes, the teaching and growth is there and the love is there. It was just fun. Okay. So I think this is the questions that you've asked me so far have been rude and intrusive. No, I'm just kidding. They have been very valuable, very insightful, and worth asking. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your trust. And of course, I would bring nothing less than the best. I'm not going to come with a boxers or brief question.
Hey, I like those questions too. Mercy. But go ahead.
Okay. You say this is going to be the final one, and you're going to wrap up with this.
Can do maybe another time I'll have you on. You can ask the other ones, but let's do one more, and then we're going to call it.
Okay. We'll see how you find a way to call it quickly after this.
Oh gosh.
Question number 5. Melikia.
Yes.
What does it mean for a woman to be in relationship with someone?
Okay. It means that she's breathing. It means that she's breathing. Many women, I probably should have asked this question. Let me ask you a question. Did you mean like romantically or just in relationship period? Because my mind went to relationship period.
So when I wrote it initially, I was thinking romantically,
Okay.
but I did not go back and adjust it to reflect that, because I want to give you the space to answer.
Excuse me. Ooh, pardon me.
As broadly, I heard nothing. As broadly as and as specifically as you wish.
Okay, so what came to mind was relating. We are born. We are born of and born to. Some of us remain with those who we were born of, and we become the two, born to. And we learn our relating in those pods, whether it's our parental pods or if it's our foster pods or system pods. We learn our relating. To me, relationship is literally that. It's just how you relate to someone. And relating covers all of it. So relating covers, I see you, I have interest, I've decided to know you better. Whether that better is in the framework of a schoolmate, a sibling, a coworker, a lover, husband or wife, a friend, a best friend, an acquaintance, right? So as women, we have many distinctions available to us. And we like our variety. We like our choices. We like our variety. And it is that sometimes persons can consider themselves closer than they actually are. And a woman has decided that those folks have been designated into their proper spots. And then those who have not been clearly defined are there in the spin cycle until it's a bit more clearer on which spot they get to be in. Do. Okay, great. Because we do not play about this. Like, there's some women, when you're dealing with women who are still coming into maturity, they're still figuring out, because none of us got that book. Hey, you're an adult now, do this. Just like the parents didn't get that book. Hey, you have a baby, do this. That manual did not come. So we are creating the manual as we go. But I find that, and again, this is not, I offer answers from my experiences and from my numbers. My numbers are vast. My impact is vast. My impact exceeds million. Okay. So I've had wonderful, many experiences, right? And this is me answering from my knowledge base, my experience, and things that I've learned. Does that make it across the board for everybody? No. So do not call me or write me or text me with stupid. Don't do it. So what I find is most women have a level of perception and a level of discernment and a level of watching. And those who don't tend to grow into it through life's experiences, it teaches us. We learn that everybody is not your friend, even if they smile in your face and say they're your friend. That every romantic encounter doesn't lead to marriage. That every marriage doesn't necessarily hold all the tenets that were initially spoken of or agreed upon. It just isn't the case. So I find that we move as we need to move. I believe it's the same for men. Men move as they need to move. We assign our values. We decide what it is we want. Many of us work to understand what we bring to relationships. Okay. And women, we build and build and build and build ourselves. Many women, the majority of women that I've encountered, work to build themselves to be. They want to be loving. They want to be effective. They want to be seen, be heard, be held, be loved, right? So we work to be worthy. Many of us work to be worthy in relating, worth relating with or relating to. And that's sad. Why is that sad, Melikia? Well, because we were already worthy, but we didn't get that message. Okay. So when it comes to relating, I think women, and the same as men, are doing the best that they know how to do. Those who have a heart for better, and best. Some folks are just dastardly, and we recognize that too. Some folks are about that anarchy and about that destruction and about that manipulation and taking advantage and working over and drain. Y'all. Women have healing. Healing rests and resides in us. How do I know? Let me bring them receipts. We got monthly receipts on who we are. Okay. And for those of us who are elevated in spirit and in nature, we transmute. We are the plug. That is why our bodies are shaped in this fashion, right? So in relating, I find that we must beware of the drains. We must beware of letting folks plug in who can't pour back in, who can't carry the current or hold it. So that it's, you can't see my 8, but I'm figuring it out and drawing a figure 8. Can't reciprocate or elevate, right? So I find that women assess and assess constantly. Many women overthink. And again, I'm not saying any of this is a bad thing. I am saying that this is simply the is. This is simply the is. And is that, again, across the board and blanket? No. Some women are, I almost said a word. Some women are less informed. Some women choose to be less informed. Some women choose to be less period, so that they can relate to others more or feel related to. If I lower my intellect, if I lower my speech, if I disappear my lexicon, if I lose my morality, then I'll be accepted and more folks will relate to me. Caution. Do you have to not be you in order to have someone relate to you? You know, these are the decisions that women make. Do I speak up for myself and possibly cause a tear in this relating? You know, do I demand what is due me and become a bitch? The dreaded, you know, as opposed to being aggressive and assertive, which is literally what's occurring. So there are so many facets of relating, Scott, that this is a very it's a very wonderfully offered question, very concise. I love those types of questions, and same time the answer is so very complex because it exists in 12 areas of life. Okay, so but if I'm to centralize it, I will simply say that women are open to relating, and I believe we are built to relate. And then we also have a switch, and let me be very, very clear. There's an off switch with women, and this goes with children, co-workers, acquaintances, friends, best friends, lovers, husbands, wives, parents. That switch applies to all of the above. We could turn that shit off, trust, and keep it moving. That is the power of a woman. Okay. And it's, again, I don't say good, bad, or indifferent. This is just the is. Does that answer your question?
I would say that's the beginning of a great conversation, but yes, an answer.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I once again give much gratitude to you having me come on here and do this. And applause to you for experiencing the question.
Oh my God. Yo, you're rude. You're rude. You unkind. Your questions ain't friendly. No, stop. Now I have to go back and watch this and see what I said. Oh God. But it was all the truth. Like literally, this is it. This is what came and this is what I shared. So I stand 10 toes down on everything I said. I am grateful. Thank you very much for your time, your attention to detail, the killer questions. Thank you, Question Jesus, who just rained down the magical questions for him to come and throw at me, and I couldn't even duck, Lord. Okay, great.
And I didn't even mansplain once.
Hallelujah, you're so smart, because I don't even think it would have been safe. You did too mansplain once. You did once, twice. We ain't gonna get on that right now. We're gonna let it be. No, I am grateful. Thank you so much for your time. We are so over time, and I'm getting up out of the studio. Thank you. Again, please do offer information on how the folks can reach you and work with you.
www.harrellconsultinggroup.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Scott the Voice Harrell, because I am also a public speaker, voiceover artist, and poet extraordinaire.
Woo! When you said www, I thought you were about to do a radio thing being funny. I was like, don't you dare.
Would you like me to?
Let's not do it. I could totally see you being a radio personality or one of those talking humans for football games, the commentators. Well, announcers too, but I meant the after the game when they talk a lot of smack. It's pretty hilarious to me. Okay, so fast forward, humans. I'm gonna say good night to Scott and put you back down there in the green room. Bye. Thank you. All right, and then also say good night to you all. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for viewing and enjoying and participating. Totally zoned on the comments today. My bad, y'all. My bad. I was busy having conversations. And what I would say is I am going to pop real quick and just to see them because I don't want to miss all that. Yay. All right, cool. And do know that when the live goes out I'm not able to see all the comments that are coming through. My bad. So I encourage you to go hit replay on Melikia K Courtney YouTube and leave the comments there. I will be able to see them over there. Okay. So have a wonderful evening. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Blast Channel, the Blast Channel on YouTube, BLASTMUSIC247. Subscribe. And also to Melikia K Courtney, subscribe. Have a wonderful night, and I'll bring you more information about A Day of Healing Safe Touch, February 8th, 2025, Love Fest 2025, when I meet you here again. Have a beautiful night.